Welcome. In this video, the event, Preluding Lights, will be summarized. Throughout the video, there will be spoilers for the story of Arknights. If you don't want to be spoiled, please go and play the game. Gareth and Illa tread carefully through the barren lands, weary but determined. Illa, leaving her homeland for the first time, pauses to ask about the unfamiliar terrain ahead, learning of Casimir's lands to the northeast. They set up camp as Gareth takes stock of dwindling supplies, warning Illa of the dangers lurking in the wilderness: bandits, beasts, and the unknown. Illa reflects on the rumors of the Rusthammers, a group they hope to join, while Gareth shares his chilling encounter with their forces during his time in the army. Despite their brutal reputation, he believes there's more to the Rusthammers than the Ursus propaganda suggests, noting their defiance of oppression and liberation of the infected. Upon reaching the Rusthammer camp, they face skepticism and a harsh trial to survive a month in the wilderness using only basic tools. Illa agrees, her resolve unwavering despite Gareth's doubts. Days turn to weeks as they adapt to the barren lands, catching wild prey and experimenting with planting seeds in a hidden gorge. Their success offers a glimmer of hope, but danger looms as they discover Ursus soldiers nearby. Gareth urges them to flee, but Illa, cherishing the freedom and self-respect she's found, refuses to abandon their fragile sanctuary. Arknights, a rain-soaked region of Minos bordering Sargon, bears witness to a desperate young Sargon warrior who collapses near their border, her weary form drawing suspicion and concern alike. Discovered by Minoan mercenaries and Pallas, a revered priestess and commander, she is treated with cautious compassion. The Sarkaz mercenaries distrust her, wary of a Sargon spy and their potential schemes. But Pallas insists her duty is to save lives, even amid war. The warrior awakens, weapon in hand, defensive but weakened, her distrust clashing with Pallas's calm resolve. Though she has lingering suspicions, Pallas offers food, warmth, and the possibility of peace, urging trust and understanding in a land where kindness is a calculated risk. Said warrior's name is Heavy Rain, who confronts her distrust of a Sarkaz mercenary while Pallas attempts to mediate, urging understanding. The Minoan soldiers leave the mercenary as a temporary guard, prompting Heavy Rain's discomfort. Pallas suggests visiting Arknights for respite, but Heavy Rain declines, driven by the need to distance herself from Sargon. Amid exchanges, Pallas offers compassion, sensing Heavy Rain's heavy burden, while the mercenary warns of the harsh realities she may face. Later, Pallas reflects on Heavy Rain's plight, recognizing her as a normal yet fragile individual fleeing unseen demons. Their musings are interpreted by an assassin targeting Heavy Rain. A mercenary intervenes, defying his kin, declaring his stance against the assassin's blind pursuit of violence. Benna strolls the corridors seeking Annie, who's vanished on another adventure without her. Frustrated, she flips a coin to decide her path, singing a playful tune. Following the coin's guidance, she stumbles upon RI's youth recreation area, spawning Annie near Carrara, deeply engrossed in a video game. Benna is intrigued and whispers to Annie, curious about the unfamiliar activity. Watching the horror game unfold, Benna is shocked by the on-screen events, but quickly becomes intrigued, eager to join the game itself. Carrara, hesitant to let a child play a suspenseful game, modifies the settings to make it more suitable. Benna takes the controller enthusiastically, navigating challenges with surprising skill. Carrara, initially doubtful, becomes impressed with Benna's aptitude, wondering if she's a fellow gamer. Together, they triumph over the final boss, securing the coveted true end. Carrara explains the game's intricate storyline, detailing ghostly tales from Shin-Aki City and the protagonist's journey to unravel the mysteries. As Benna listens intently, Carrara reflects on the joy of sharing her passion. Inspired, Benna offers to exchange a story of her own, promising a tale from Victorian times. Fetching water for Carrara, Benna begins her ghostly narrative, setting the stage for an eerie, rain-soaked slum. She introduces a Capernae girl, abandoned by her parents and seeking shelter from the harsh world. A chance encounter with an elderly woman offers a glimmer of kindness as the girl assists her with a basket of apples. At 2:18 p.m., Blue Poison and Glaucus arrive at a deserted coastal town north of Iberia, where the building matched their survey report. As they enter the building, they discover a rough, hacked-open entrance likely made by bounty hunters. Their conversation reflects on the ruins of Iberia, with Glaucus comparing their fractured history to her childhood struggles and Blue Poison contemplating the avoidance of painful truths. Venturing deeper, they explore the dark corridors where old technology and the scent of seawater add to an eerie atmosphere. They find a skeleton caught in seagrass, deducing it was a bounty hunter who drowned during a flood. Blue Poison and Glaucus cautiously approach a strange white light, preparing for combat, only to discover it's emitted by Arya, a Fedea woman who has been misled to coming into the lighthouse. She explains she is originally from a Iberian coastal town and had learned to maintain lighthouses with her teacher, though her town's lighthouse no longer works after a disaster struck the coastline. Arya's passion for restoring the light sparked Glaucus's interest in investigating the lighthouse energy core. After Arya faints from a toxin, she awakes eager to join Rhodes Island. Blue Poison reveals the lighthouse could potentially become a new outpost for Rhodes Island. The team plans to provide medical aid to refugees and offer their assistance, with the lighthouse still standing guard over the coastline despite its darkened light. A noble attendant asks Carnelian to wait while preparing the contract for the Count, and after a distracted moment, Carnelian assures them that she has no questions. As she prepares to leave, the attendant offers to accompany her, but she declines, planning a stroll through the city. She comments on the solidified Originium crystals displayed, and the attendant explains that they were discovered by Sir Fauerbach, appreciating their rarity and mystique. Carnelian reflects on human costs of acquiring such treasures and points out the difficulty of mining them. The conversation shifts to the Count's reputation, with the attendant subtly criticizing Carnelian's boldness. Carnelian responds, expressing her understanding of the power dynamics and drawing on past rumors and history, mentioning an accident at the mines, while the attendant reassures her that the situation is being handled. Later, a girl questions the fantastical stories Carnelian shares about the rivers in the sky and giant trees, only to be teased with the idea of treasure-filled deserts, which turns out to just be a story that Carnelian once heard. Carnelian explains that she's staying in Sargon due to complications with a troublesome person she feels responsible for, despite not knowing if they are truly friends. As they talk, the girl shares her fear of the infected and the harsh conditions in her district, where sickness is rampant amongst miners. Carnelian reassures her that life in Sargon is tough, but not as hopeless as it seems, while the girl reveals how her parents died in a mining accident, and she barely escaped from the guards rounding up the sick. When a Lithuanian caster confronts them, Carnelian maintains her cool and subtly challenges him, hinting at deeper secrets and conspiracies involving the infected, revealing her own understanding of the situation. After the caster leaves, the girl is left shaken but determined to find her friends and leave the city, with Carnelian suggesting a Rhodes Island specialist maybe being better suited to help her. Cliffheart bursts into Courier and Matterhorn's room but finds it empty, leading her to search for them throughout Rhodes Island. She meets Courier along the way and almost trips over a parcel, jokingly blaming him for the near fall. After some playful back and forth, they meet Matterhorn, who's surprised by Cliffheart's early wake-up and her eagerness to join a mission. Cliffheart reveals that she's planning on something more personal, and with a bit of prodding from Courier, she admits she's trying to deliver a letter to her sister Enya at Mount Carlan. She asks Courier to help, but he explains the situation with Kjerg makes it nearly impossible to do so. Disappointed, Cliffheart runs off, determined to find another way. After traveling towards Mount Carlan, Cliffheart is caught by Courier, who figures out her plan. She's set on delivering the letter herself despite the dangers. Feeling powerless as her brother's control over her life grows tighter, Courier worries for her safety, confronts her about the risks, and they discuss the complicated relationships between Cliffheart, her brother Silver Ash, and Enya. Ultimately, Cliffheart refuses to back down, and Courier reluctantly agrees to help by delivering the letter to a nearby monastery. He warns that it might not reach Enya, but Cliffheart is undeterred. She continues to plot her course, fully intending to scale the mountain if necessary, while Courier prepares for the trouble that may come with helping her. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter and Blue Sky for updates, and please check out my other Girls Frontline and Azure Lane videos as well. There will be a teaser out tomorrow for this coming week's character summaries.